Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I am here to review Netflix's Tekken anime. Let's say animation anime. Tekken anime. It's called Tekken Bloodline. Now, Tekken is one of the most iconic fighting game franchises in history. Arguably the best. Like, it depends on who you talk to. Some people will tell you it's Street Fighter, some people tell you it's Mortal Kombat, but from a technical standpoint, I do think Tekken is the best fighting game, like on a technical level, like breaking it down. You know what I mean? Like fighting in its essence. I think Mortal Kombat has some amazing theatrics to it, like badass, like better characters, like badass characters and interesting, and I have a very interesting story with the lore. I've gone into Mortal Kombat before. Just go watch my rant about the Mortal Kombat movie. You know Mortal Kombat has a very in-depth and interesting lore. Street Fighter has a lore too, but it's like, it's a lore, but it's not as well known as the Mortal Kombat lore. It's not as well explored. You know, Street Fighter is iconic, but really, Mortal Kombat has just kind of taken the shine from Street Fighter and Tekken because of its bloodshed and its, the Mortal Kombat movies, and there's just Mortal Kombat has a name recognition to it that's just on another level. But Tekken is, I've always loved Tekken. Been a massive fan of it. Been playing it since the original Tekken, man. Played the arcade Tekken, played Tekken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I've actually owned every single Tekken at one point or another. So, like, I've played the fuck out of Tekken. And and it's funny because there's this anime I reviewed a couple of years ago. Great anime. It's on it's a Netflix anime too called Kingen Shuri. I always say it wrong, but I'm just calling it Kingen for short. And it was a great anime, and it was another anime about martial arts, and it was a tournament, and it was a big over-the-top tournament, and I remember when I was watching that anime being like, dude, this is like Tekken. Like, that's the vibe I got from the anime. And when I got done watching season 2 of that, I was like, damn, dude, like, Tekken could do this. Now, they've tried to make a Tekken live-action movie that was not very good at all. It was pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And they've tried to do things with Tekken, but I've often thought that like a Mortal Kombat and like a Street Fighter, like, these fighting games have their own universes. They have their own material to collect from. And I am a fan of tournament movies anyways. Like, I think there's a way to do it. And Kingen, they did such a great job with the tournament and the structure of it. And like, you're watching it from the main, like how you got all these different perspectives and angles on this tournament. And all these people are here fighting in this tournament for so many different reasons. And I'm thinking in my head, like, you could easily do that with the Tekken show. Except, as a fan of Tekken, we know the backstory behind some of these characters, so that'd be cool. So I was excited when they announced that they were gonna make this Tekken show. Looks like it has the same kind of animation style as King, and I was like, okay, cool. This should be legit. And it looks like they were gonna center it around Jin Kazama, who's really the main character of the Tekken franchise. At least he became the main character after Tekken 2, because it used to be Kazama, and Kazama was woo. So, short story for people who don't know the Tekken franchise. So, Tekken is a world of magic and ridiculously over-the-top machinery. Unexplainably ridiculous over-the-top machinery, but I digress. There is this guy named Heihachi. Heihachi, you've probably seen him. He's kind of been almost the de facto mascot for Tekken. He's got the gray hair out like this. He's shredded. He's got the beard. Heihachi is the douchebag of all douchebags. He is the worst dad who ever lived. He is a piece of shit. He is arrogant to a fault, but he's also a bad motherfucker. Heihachi is, if Vince McMahon, for the wrestling fans out there, if Vince McMahon also so happens to be the most powerful man on the planet, and he so happened to be the baddest man on the planet all at the same time, that's what Heihachi. That's what Heihachi is. He's a crazy bastard. He's scary. He's ruthless, and he basically created this tournament, the Iron Fist tournament, to basically stroke his own ego, because he's like, I'm the baddest motherfucker. I'm gonna make a tournament to prove I'm the baddest motherfucker. And then his son, who he thought he killed, showed up and beat him. And so he created this Iron Fist tournament to show off his own strength, and him and his son went back and forth. And his son, Kazuma, was the hero of that first game. Of the first game, Kazuma is the hero. He survived being almost killed by his father. He's come back for revenge. He fights his way through this tournament. He defeats his father. His father's presumed dead. He takes over the company. And it turns out Kazuma might be even worse than his father. But somewhere along the way, he had a child named Jin. And Jin is like... one thing that I did enjoy about the show is, now as a Tekken fan we know this, but it's because it centers on Jin, and it's really all his perspective. There's only 6 episodes, which they had to have more if they were gonna get this right completely. But centering it on Jin and him dealing with the devil that is his father on one shoulder and the angel that is his mother on the other, and trying to not let his anger consume him, and trying to live and be the man that his mom wants him to, like his mom is raising him to be, and him trying to balance the anger with the pacifist, trying to be a pacifist like his mom is teaching him, and it's the duality of it is weighing heavily on him, and it's great that they got that across. Now I'm not sure, it's been a while since I haven't freshed up on my Tekken lore, but I do think they made a couple changes for the show that are in Tekken, because I don't remember Jin being basically trained by Hashima. Like, I don't know if that's, maybe it is a thing, but I don't remember it. But in this, his mom's killed by Ogre, which he's this giant green demon looking guy. He goes and finds his grandfather, who's Hashima, and he trains him, and he trains him hard as fuck, dude. I mean, like, he puts Jin through the ringer, but by the time he comes out of that training, 4-year gap changed, Jin's a bad motherfucker. And like I said, I don't know if that's how it worked in the game. I don't know if he was trained by him, by Hihashi, but it's like that in the show. But enough of the history lesson. What about the show itself? Like, is it good or is it bad? At the end of the day, I ended up feeling a bit underwhelmed. While they did do a good job with Jin's story, they basically kind of disrespect every other character. One of my favorite characters, Horang, yeah. I always wonder if I'm saying his name correctly. He's my favorite character in the game. He's the character I pick every time I play it. Deadly with them kicks. Always play with him. He's like, I mean, he's in it, and he is his friend, you know, like, they have a rapport. He's in it. He has more than, a few lines. But I was hoping for Kingen, because Kingen really went in the details of each character, and they really took a step back, and each fight was like, they focused on each fight and focused on each character and their fighting styles, and like, it was so much detail. They straight up skip half the tournament for this. Like, you don't see, like, they have characters like Martial Law and all these characters from the game that we all know, and we don't even see them. Like, they just kind of skip by them. We don't see, like, there is no build up to it. It just kind of stuff happens. And like I say, it's straight disrespect, because that is somebody's favorite character. That is somebody's character that they pick in tournaments and stuff, and they know the lore on them, and you guys just straight up skip by them. I mean, they did Nina Williams dirty as fuck in this show. Like, at the end of the day, they were like, I'm not sure what it was. Like, I'm not sure what they were going for here. It seems to me like they were just really zeroed in on Jin's story, which sure, for Jin, sure, it was pretty good. But man, like, they really did disrespect the rest of the characters. The rest of the characters were just background noise. At the end of the day, I ended up being very disappointed with this show. I ended up wanting more out of it, especially since I know it can be more. And I'm just like, well, fuck, man. I was so excited. And when the action, even the action itself, outside of the last fight sequence, it's brief. Like, stuff happens and then it's over. And it's so quick. There's no getting into it. There's no getting into the fighting style or strategy. It's just like, no, I just punched them harder. And overall, I ended up being a bit let down. I would probably give Tekken Bloodline a 5 out of 10. I really wanted more out of it. It really wasn't anything. And at the end of the day, if you might have a bit of fun if you're a Tekken fan, but it really did a disservice to the franchise. It really did a disservice to all these other characters. And it just made me sad. It really did. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please comment below. Who is your favorite Tekken character? Have you played Tekken? And if you did, who is your favorite character? Comment below and let me know. Thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.